we're now joined by Dr. Lee Perry-Gal. She's an archaeologist at the Israel Antiquities Authority. She's one of the scientists who wrote the paper about the ancient dice, and you saw her there in the story holding the dice in a beautiful picture. It's quite mesmerizing. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Lee Perry-Gal. First and foremost, I want to ask you, how did you find something like this in Ben Guvrin? I've been there many times, and I see that there are excavations still going on, but how do you find such a thing, and how excited were you to find that discovery? Is it a rare find?
It is a rare find. It's not a rare thing to find those ankle bones of sheep and goats, which we call asagal. It's not a rare find. But what is rare is the amount of them, more than 500 bones like this, which means that it's definitely not refuse of food or regular economy. It means that people collect them during time and use them for other purposes except just food. Use them for their culture, for their rituals, for their divination and games. And this is what's so unique. And a part of this, the astrogals themselves are carrying names of goddesses and gods and different marks. Part of them we don't even understand. Everything is written in Greek.
So I want to focus on that. It's written in ancient Greek, and you mentioned, and the story mentioned also some names of gods and goddesses, Hermes, Nike, etc. What were some of the more surprising inscriptions that you found on some of those bones, or dice, as we now call them?
There were some of them were quite funny, like robber, or things that must be part of an ancient game of or something like that. And part of them were found next to like chalkboards, which you can just, if you can see the shape of it, is just very easy to roll them and use them like dice, and so you can just toss them in the air and throw them. And I think that what was very unique was the find of goddesses like Aphrodite, which tells us more about the ancient life of women for a change, and their wish to have a successful delivery or marriage, or just an everyday wishes women and kids had in the past.
And what do we know, or what can we speculate about the tension between rituals and play? Let's say they rolled the dice and Aphrodite showed, or Hermes. What did that mean? Do we know?
Actually, it's an important question, because the border between games and divination in past time was not so clear. Game and divination were kind of mixed sometimes, and this is very interesting because nowadays it's not like that usually. But everything was unpredictable, so you can just combine the two, and we know that was the case by ancient texts and iconographic evidence that we have, that this was the purpose, that these were the two main purposes that these elements used for game and mostly divination.
Okay, before we part, I do want to ask you, we're talking about around 2,300 years ago. Apparently it was a playful era. And what sorts of other games were played at the time? Do we know of anything that was played?
Mostly board games. But we don't know enough, I have to say. We still have a lot of things to discover.
In this area, I mean, not under the Olympus. Yeah.
Of course, and I'm talking about this area, but the Hellenistic period in the region, in Israel in this case, was very like multicultural place or atmosphere, and this brought also games and new beliefs and divinations. And I think the amount of astragal and these unique find is something to do with this unique atmosphere that ruled at this period in this region.
Okay.
I believe so.
Dr. Lee Perigal, thank you very much for discussing your recent find with us. Pleasure having you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.